back up a song because we got a little into the playlist and we need to start slow before we get going. Let's find a comfortable seat. Maybe on a block or maybe just legs crossed. Sitting up tall. Let's do 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale again, filling up your lungs. Exhale with a sigh. One more time, fill up the lungs. And exhale with a sigh. Bring the air in and out through the nose using Ujjayi breath. Long, slow inhales and exhales. As you're noticing your breath and beginning to notice your body and maybe your headspace, I'd invite you to turn your attention to your chakras. We have 7 chakras that ascend from the body, starting at the bottom, all the way to the crown, and they're like notes on a musical scale, each conducting at a different vibrational frequency and operating a different part of our being. As you bring your attention to these various places, you may notice vibration or pounding in the background of my cueing. They're doing construction on my street, which is very loud for me. You may be hearing it as well. That said, bring your focus to your lowest chakra, Muladhara, right between your sitting bones, very near to where your hips touch the floor. And when you bring your attention to this space, you're imagining the light that's shining in the area, and you're bringing your attention to that. Like a lampshade around the light, you're gently absorbing the energy of that space, looking at it more clearly. And then we'll move our attention up to our next chakra, Swadhisthana, right in the middle of your pelvis. Continue breathing as you move up to the next chakra, Manipura, sternum or maybe your diaphragm, just above the navel. Moving up to Anahata, your heart. Vishuddha, the throat or base of your neck. Anjana, Chandra, the third eye, or the back of your skull. Travels in both directions, front and back. And lastly, about 6 inches above your head, you might think of Sahasrara, your 7th and highest chakra. Now as you breathe, notice how these 7 points align. And we'll reference those points throughout class. Let's come on to tabletop. Beginning our warm-up with our cat and cow. And here you can think about the top and the bottom of your spine, or your 1st and 7th chakra. Inhale, extend your tail and crown away from each other, extending those points. And exhale, flex those points, doming your spine deeply, and you feel your mid-chest move upward toward the sky. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. As you continue this movement, think of a pearl necklace that has 7 beads. That pearl necklace represents your spine. And each of those beads is a place where you can flex and extend your spine. So notice if each point of the spine has an equal amount of movement. You may notice that some parts of the spine flex more easily or extend more easily. Take one more round. And return to neutral. Pause for a moment. Extend your right leg directly behind, flex through the foot, very strong through the leg. Cross your right foot over your left with your toes tucked. Look over your left shoulder toward your foot behind. And breathe into your right side ribs as you laterally bend your spine. Extend the leg once again, foot reaching to the floor. Turn your left foot out for Parigasana gate pose. Circle your right arm back and up. As you lift the arm, you can lift your hips so the bottom hip is in line with your shoulder. Arm can continue overhead. Take a breath in. Fingers and toes are reaching away from one another. One more inhale. Exhale, recircle your arm. Place your right hand on the floor. Extend your left arm forward, so you traded arm and leg. Opposite arm and leg reach, breathe in. Exhale, dome your spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome. One more time, reach long. And replace arm and leg. Extend your left leg back. Flex through the foot. Cross left foot over right as you look to the right shoulder. Active breathing. Bring your leg directly behind you again. Bring your right shin out to the side as you open up your hips, circling your right arm up and over, lifting up your bottom hip so it lines up with the shoulder. So you're actually side bending the spine here, lifting and lengthening the top side. You can reach that arm forward and feel length from the fingertips to the bottom foot. Inhale. Exhale. Recircle the arm. When your hips and chest face the floor, trade hands. Extend left leg and right arm. Inhale. Exhale, dome. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome. Last time, reach long. Replace arm and leg. Child's pose. Wide knee child's pose, so your big toes are together as your hips move toward your heels. Forehead to the floor. Anchor your pelvis so you're reaching your tailbone down to the floor. You can even use your hands to press your hips back, really grounding through the tailbone. Then keep your tailbone where it is as you walk your hands forward, finding length forward through the upper body. And breathe as you create some space through the body. One more inhale. And an exhale. Come forward onto your belly. Your hands can be under your forehead. Bring your left hand back for your left foot. Holding on to the foot, your elbow points up to the sky. Now, before we really draw the heel in, tuck your tailbone. So you press the front of your pelvis down, then draw the heel toward the glute. One more breath in. As you exhale, exchange legs. Re-tucking the tailbone, so you press the front of your pelvis actively downward as you draw the heel toward your glute. I have a sense that the music might be a little loud. Take another breath in. And a breath out. Gently release. Come up into a mini sphinx. Not a mini sphinx, just sphinx. So you're on your forearms. And you're pulling your forearms back while you're reaching the center of your chest forward. Think about 2 chakra points. Your pelvic floor anchoring down. So you have kind of downward energy from the pelvis. And then your heart reaching forward, trying to burst through your arms. And the backward motion with the elbows helps you move your chest forward. One more inhale and exhale. Let's find downward dog. You can use your knees to transition to table. Tuck your toes for downward dog, and let's pedal out through the feet. Waking up the lower unit. Shifting weight while you breathe. Then heels reach to the floor, knees are soft, spine is long and active. Enjoy a breath in. And a breath out. Look forward, walk your feet to your hands, stand at the top of the mat with bent knees. Take another breath in, then bend your knees more. Bring hands to thighs and inhale as you stand all the way up. We're going to do a couple more warm-up things today to get our energy moving a little bit. So you can stand with wide legs using the wide edge of your mat. We'll start by reaching our arms above head, and you can interlace hands with an inverted palm, so your palms point up to the sky. Breathe in, find length up through the torso. Exhale, stay. We're here for 5 breaths, just finding length through the whole body. 2 more. Your legs are strong, pressing down while your arms are reaching up. 1 more inhale. Stay here as you exhale. We're moving side to side. Move to the right. Actively reach your left foot down to the floor. Inhale back up and move to the left. When you go to the side, you activate your right foot, the opposite foot, even more. Now we're going side to side with our breath. To the right, up and over to the left, up and over to the right. Up and over to the left, up and over. When you go up and over, you get stronger down that side, and over, stronger down this side. And over, last 2, up, and over, and up. Hands to the shoulders. Bend your knees a little bit, and then re-strengthen your legs. Rotate to the right, and back, left, and back. Right and back, left and back. You're welcome to let your hips go a little bit and back, but your feet are strong, like they're planted in cement. Right and back. I think that was 10. I lost track. Relax your hands, and we're going to do a little more twisting. Your hands will always face this direction. When you're in the front of the body, you have the front of the palm by your chest. When you're in the back of the body, the back of your hand is on your body. So you slide your left hand up and you rotate. And the hand motion encourages the body to rotate, other hand reaching around, and then you reverse, unrotate and change hands. Right hand up to the shoulder, other hand down to your hip, and back. So that's 1 and 2. Here we go. 3, and unrotate. 4, and unrotate. 5, and 6. Breathing as you move. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drape your body over your legs. You can interlace opposite arms or place your hands behind your head. And we'll do 10 swings side to side. To the right and left, right and left. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9, 10. If you need 2 more to resolve, then let your head and spine hang. Bend your knees and slowly roll up. Toe heel your feet back together. Just stirring up the energy a little bit before we get into sun salutations. I've been reading some yoga texts, so I have some new ideas, which is always dangerous. Here we go. Sun salutation A, top of the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms above head. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Plant your hands and step to plank. Pause, take an extra breath in. You can use your knees. Exhale to lower. Cobra on an inhale. Exhale, release and find downward dog. Enjoy 3 breaths. After your third exhale, look forward, step or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Little bends to the knees as you sweep up to stand. And hands to the heart. Take a breath. Do a little dance. And round 2. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Half lift. High to low plank. However you like to move through into chaturanga, you can take extra breaths. Cobra as you're ready. Downward dog. 3 breaths here. One more inhale. Look forward, step or hop your feet to your hands. Half lift. Release. Little bend as you swing up to stand. Hands to the heart. Take a breath in. And breath out. I just noticed I love this song. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Half lift. High to low plank. Find downward dog after a cobra. And we'll stay here, continuing on into our hip opening sequence. Lift your right leg up. Flex through your right heel, still strong through your standing left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, step your right foot through. Lower the knee down. A version of lunge, Salanshasana, equestrian pose. So your knee is way forward and your hips are very low. Lunge, we tend to be here with equal weight on both feet. Pull your hips forward. So there's a lot of forward energy through the pelvis, and you're really pressing down into the front foot. More weight front than back. You can have your hands on the thighs or on the floor if it's available. Inhale, extend the spine. With hands on the thighs, you can press the thighs into your hands. And then lower down. Extend both arms forward, arrow. So the tailbone, imagine your chakras, 1 and 7, are pulling long. Lower your left hand down, keep your right hand where it is. Inhale, exhale, rotate your body open. The shoulders are still wide. If you got a little crunchy and tight in the shoulders, imagine widening the shoulders, then rotating the ribs more. 1 breath in, and breath out. Reach your right hand forward as you turn your right foot out, dragon lunge. So my front leg turned out as I lowered down and reached my right hand forward. Left arm can be on the floor and you can bring your forehead to the floor. Now there's a doming sensation to your pelvis. So chakras 1, 2, and 3 are moving upward, concaving to create a stretch through the back of the pelvis. 1 more breath in and breath out. Inhale your body up. From here we come all the way back to three-legged dog. The right foot sweeps back. Take that foot and bend it, falling into a flipped dog. So you land on your right foot and let your hips soften. You can even bring your right hand to the side of you. Circle your right arm up, lifting the hips just for a moment. The hips are very strong, a strong right foot, and then lower the hips back down, uncircle the body. You flip over to your lunge again, and downward dog. We made it all the way through. What? Breathe in, and breathe out. Let's try it on the second side. Left leg lifts. Strong through your standing right leg, strong through your left heel. Take a breath in. 1 time, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. And step your left foot through a version of lunge in which you lower the knee, lower your pelvis, and guide your hips forward. So there's a lot of forward energy through the pelvis. Hands on the thighs. Inhale, extend your spine. So you're moving your spine away from your legs. 1 more breath in. And recover. Make a strong connection between your hands and reach forward. So you're pulling your fingertips away from your tailbone. Inhale. Exhale, leave your left arm where it is. Release the right. Breathe in and breathe out, rotate your body. So the shoulder wants to lead the way. Lead with the ribs. Last breath in. And breath out. Here's our fun part, gymnasts. Plant your hand. Tuck your right toe as you sweep your left foot back. Bend the knee and stack your pelvis. This is the start of your fall, where you land on your left foot and let your hips touch the earth. Really soften for a moment. Then you take over and circle the body up and re-soften. Flip back to your left foot lunge and downward dog. Take a breath in and child's pose for just a moment. We're upside down and in the middle of movement, going through flip dog. So I'd like to show that so you can maybe see how the circles in the body work, and then we'll try it again. So we've done the first half, and if you'd like to watch, this is the second half. The right leg lifts, you bend the knee, and this is the start of a circle. And you soften, landing really lightly on the hips, and you can look to the right. Now you follow the right hand going counterclockwise. Across the body, you pick up the hips, they lift, maybe you reach, maybe you find the back of your head, and then you reverse that circle, the hips leading the way back down. They soften before you jump back or transition back to your lunge. Let's look at that on the Jeannie, you have it, I know you do. The other side looks like this. The left leg lifts, you bend, and you start the circle softening. You can really get soft on that transition. Look to the left. Then go to the right with your left hand, starting your circle up, and then back down. Then a little flip, and we're back. Let's try it. From downward dog, we have some things before those flipped dogs. Right leg lifts. Knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Step it through. Lower the back knee down. You can keep it lifted if you choose. Inhale, extend your spine, hands on the floor or thighs. Exhale, release. Reach forward into arrow. Exhale, release the left hand. Rotate. Exhale, stay. Let's take an extra breath to find length. And lower. Dragon lunge. Reach way forward, forehead to the floor. Body back up. And find downward dog. Here we go, that fun gymnastic finish. Take a breath in, start your foot circling to the floor. Land lightly. Follow your right hand to the left as you circle your hips up. And then the hips back down, just reverse. Right foot to lunge. Hoomba. Yes, downward dog. And you can do a three-legged dog before downward dog. We're ready for the left side. Inhale your leg. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Step it through to a lunge. Salanchasana. Inhale, unfurl your spine. Hands to thighs or the floor. Exhale, release. Arrow, extend your spine long. Exhale, release right hand. Inhale, rotate to your left. Exhale, stay. Good. As you lower the hands down, you're transitioning to a left side three-legged dog. Keep the foot circling as you flip your dog. Look to your left hand. Take your left hand across the body to the right as you lift your hips. And reverse. Little flip step back to the lunge. Downward dog. Really nice, Aubrey. Breathe in. And breathe out. Look forward to your hands. Walk your feet or hop your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Bend your knees as you sweep up to stand. And hands to the heart. Take a breath in. And breath out. Oh, I couldn't tell what was playing, and it's another fabulous song. I saw everyone dancing to it. All right, can we dance through some balancing? All right. We'll stand on the left foot, lifting the right leg. Right hand to the knee. You can take peace fingers to big toe if that's in your practice today. Breathe in and breathe out. Move your femur to the side. And let's extend our left arm directly above head. So you have this line of energy from your fingers down to your toes. Imagine your 7 chakras. One more inhale. Exhale. Bring the femur forward, trade hands. Inhale, exhale, rotate. You may extend your right arm directly above head and feel the line of energy from the heel on the floor to the fingers in the sky. One more breath in and breath out, gently release. Second side. Shift your weight to the right foot, release your left. Good. Standing tall, and there's already energy down that leg as if you were reaching up. Breathe in. If you went for the big toe on first side, do it again. Breathe out, move your femur to the side. Stay tall and strong on this standing side. So commit a little more energy there. Take your arm up, right arm. Excellent. Bring the femur forward, trade hands. Stand up tall and rotate. So you have right hand on left knee. Left arm can extend and you have a line of energy from your bottom heel up to your top hand. One more breath in and release. A little Garudasana, except we're going to do it in half. We're going to do the bottom half and then we'll do the top half. Hands to your hips and sit low into chair. Here in chair, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see, shift a little weight into your heels, which allows you to sit back a little more. Shift to the left, cross your right foot high in the thigh. And so here, you can wrap the foot for a double wrap if that's available. It's not available for me today. But you can engage your bottom leg, then here, extend your arms up. And your hands can be interlaced like you're pulling your fingers away from your tailbone. The tailbone is actively reaching down. Imagine that pearl necklace drawing taut. Each chakra, each bead has energy and space. Last breath in and breath out. Stand up and we'll go to the second side. Inhale, exhale, chair. Weight is back in your heels a little more than normal. Shift your weight to the right foot. Left foot crosses high in the thigh. Then when you cross the leg, pull the legs towards each other like magnets. Interlace your hands, uncomfortable thumb on top, the awkward way, and then reach your fists away from your equally energetic pelvis. As much as you can clench your fist, you're engaging the pelvic floor and pulling it backward. One more breath in and breath out. Stand up and take your arms out to the side. Flex your hands up and really hyper flex your hands, which already is maybe an intense stretch. Cross right arm under left and you can hug shoulders or bind arms together. Let's actually take legs wide, because I have variation once we're there. Roll your shoulders back and then squeeze the shoulder blades. So you lift them up and then draw the humeral heads back. It's as if the shoulder blades could come together behind you. Then do a little side-to-side motion with the body. Do a little up and down motion with the body. Unlock your arms and we'll go to the other side. Before we do, take a moment with a firm flex, which for me stretches the underside of my forearms a lot. Left arm under right. Bind the arms together. Maybe the double bind. Then lift the elbows up and squeeze the shoulders together behind you. One more inhale. And an exhale. Unlock your arms. And since we have our legs wide, or if they aren't wide already, take the long edge of your mat, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale. Reach your chest up, exhale, forward fold. Once you're upside down, squeeze the shoulders together and you can reach your knuckles overhead. One more breath in and a breath out. We're transitioning to downward dog. So walk your hands to the front of your mat, whatever that means, to the right or to the left. Then high plank, low plank, make your transition work for you as we'll meet in downward dog. Use breath. Breathe in And breathe out. Coming into a pigeon seated series. Right leg lifts, bend your knee. You can flip your dog one more time if you choose. And then come forward into pigeon. Your right knee is forward, left foot is back. You can be on the top of your back leg if that's available. Or you can sit on your right hip and bend the knee, then rotate your body toward the right leg and fold. That takes the pressure off your back knee if you have any back knee pressure. I'm wondering if this is maybe bothering a knee, if a variation is needed. We're still in pigeon for another breath in. And Jeannie has a question about flip dog, which is kind of the opposite of what we're stretching right now. Right now we're stretching the back of our hip, the back of your right hip and perhaps the front of your left hip. When you flip the dog, you're kind of doing the opposite, where it's the front of your hip, the hip flexors that are stretching, you're engaging the glutes, so there's a strong contraction there, and then there's an opening stretch through the shoulder, so you're also stretching this front pec. There's a lot of stretch happening, but definitely through the front of your pelvis. Finishing out pigeon, bring your torso up and roll to your right hip, extend your left leg to the side. Sit up tall. And take your right arm up and over with your left hip still connected to the floor. And by left, I meant right. Breathe in. And breathe out. We'll have one more chance to do that flip dog-like motion. Place your hand on the floor. Circle your left arm across. And here you're on the knee instead of your foot. But the hips are still pressing forward as your spine extends back. And then your hips come to the floor again. Bring your right hip forward just a little bit. Sit up tall. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Breathe in for length. Breathe out for more length. One more inhale. And an exhale. Bring the body up. Take your left foot, cross it over the right for a seated twist. And when you make that adjustment, the hip lifts, but replant it down. Sit up tall and then inhale toward your left knee. Exhale toward your left knee. If there's a lot of energy in your shoulders making this happen, try to redirect that energy down to your pelvis, around the navel. Really, I feel chakras 2 and 3 engaged to make the twist happen. One more breath in. And unwind. I don't know if you could hear that. It felt like the house fell down outside my house. Back to your lunge and into three-legged dog. So right away, your left foot was forward. You can sweep your left foot up, and we're going into our flip dog on the other side. If you flipped the dog, lower it down. Hips lift and recover. And into left side pigeon. And similar to the first side, if you need to or would like to adjust, bending the knee and then rotating chest toward the front leg. While you're in this pose, or if you're wrapping up your practice, take a few breaths. So what's happening in my own space brings to mind a metaphor. of a really calm or placid lake or body of water that is fluid and undisturbed. And then around that lake is avalanche, rocks falling, boulders erupting. And for me, that's quite literal, as they're changing our water main. But what about that as a metaphor for what happens in our daily life? There's an ideal, smooth tranquility that we seek in the mind and body, but that's often interrupted by the avalanche happening around us. And if those boulders start to explode and land in the lake, then they affect our placid calm. So in what way are we able to maintain placid calmness in our metaphorical body or body of water while outside obstacles happen, erupt around us, and even impact us, landing in our placid body of water? But how quickly can those ripples still? Or what tools do we use to quiet the surface of our metaphorical water? As I plan my letter to the city to quiet this construction. Inhale, bring your torso up. And a little adjustment of the pelvis to sit on your left hip. I'll swing around so you can see your right leg is extended, left leg is folded in. Sitting up tall, take your left arm over, keeping your left hip connected to the floor. As you bring your body up, one last inverted back bend, left hand on the floor, sweep your hips up. And hips back to the floor. Bring your left hip forward slightly so your hips and shoulders are square. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. Inhale and exhale. Inhale your body up. Take the extended leg and bend it over the bent leg. I'm sorry I'm laughing because it is so loud in my space. Breathe in and breathe out, rotate. Can you see the camera shaking? As enjoy another breath in. And a breath out. Gently unwind. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sitting up tall. And you can have your feet close or far away. Far away gives you a little more space, and this can be a little more restorative. If your feet are close, it's a little more invigorating and stimulating for our postural muscles that help you sit up tall. Inhale your body up and extend both legs out in front, sitting up tall. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. You can extend your spine on an inhale, finding some more length, and fold again. Inhale your body up, and we'll do just a little boat to take us down to the floor. You can apply that metaphor of your calm lake to this boat. Sitting up tall, bringing your chest close to your thighs, shins parallel to the floor, maybe lifting up, and really there's a V in your body Long through the upper body, long through the legs. One more breath in. As you exhale, move your spine away from your legs as you lay down, and you can use your hands on the thighs to do that. On your back, let's place the feet on the floor and pause for a moment, letting your body be heavy. Shoulder bridge, Setu Bandhasana. Place your feet parallel to one another and hands beside your hips. Inhale, lift your hips. Interlace your hands if that's available. Press down through the upper arms to burst your chest forward. And gently lower. Vipariti Karani, or shoulder stand, yogi's choice. So you can take your legs up toward the sky with feet flexed. This is an excellent variation. You can manipulate your ankles through plantar and dorsiflexion. Or if shoulder stands in your practice, I'll guide you there. Use your low abs to articulate your spine into flexion. Your feet end up overhead, and you're balanced on your mid-back, about your fourth chakra, right at the heart center. You feel a deep flex, very minimal to no weight on your head. You can use your hands to guide your hips over the shoulders, so the hips are really directly above, abdomen hollowed out. You can bend one knee. You can bend a second knee, or one at a time. You can come into your shoulder stand if that's available. Continue to breathe wherever you are, whatever variation you've chosen. Gently bring your feet back to the earth, deep spinal flexion. Then unflex your spine as you bring the hips to the floor, and use your abdomen to control that. And then your feet touch the floor and pause. Whether you are in shoulder stand or just on your hips, let's take Marichyasana. Matsyendrasana, excuse me. Your legs can be long or your feet can be out to the side in butterfly. Press into your elbows and come on to the crown of the head and your tailbone, balancing on the first and seventh chakra. Extending your heart upward. Extending your throat forward, opening up through the front body, even through the front of your pelvis. Gently release, bringing your body to the floor. Right leg up to the sky, left leg long. A little hamstring stretch. Your hands can be behind your right leg, drawing the leg toward your torso. The foot can be very flexed to intensify the back of the leg stretch. Gently change. Left foot is flexed up to the sky as you fold the leg toward your torso. And hug both knees. Yogi's choice finish. You can do Happy Baby or Supta Baddha Konasana. If there's another posture you would like, now is a great time. And as you make your way into a meditative position, seated, laying down, wherever you are, we'll be here for a few minutes. And I'd like to invite you to consider your chakras once again, beginning with Muladhara, the pelvic floor, associated with the color red. And as you visualize that space, you might become aware of the energy in that space, and you're not necessarily activating any muscular energy, you're just bringing psychic energy, your mental energy, to that space. And you might even just picture that space with its representative color. Next is Swadhisthana, represented by orange, living in the center of our pelvis. I've heard it described as 3 inches below the belly button, but I feel that that's an imprecise measurement depending on your body, your anatomy. Moving up to Manipura, the navel, or sometimes described as the solar plexus, represented by the color yellow. You might notice in your imagination or your visualization of these spaces in the body, they might have different brightnesses or intensities. They might feel larger in size or more specific geographically. Next we move up to Anahata, the heart center, represented by the color green. Moving to the throat, Vishuddha, represented by the color blue. Moving up to Ajna Chandra. Ajna is the third eye, Chandra is the polar back of the head, represented by the color purple. And lastly, Sahasrara extends beyond the crown of the head, represented by ultraviolet light. The energetic 1,000-petal lotus flower that connects your body, mind, body, and spirit to the energy of the cosmos around us. And then as you rescan through the body and notice how the 7 chakras relate to one another, you might notice they're represented by the colors of the rainbow, which has a beautiful metaphoric connection to Pride Month and diversity and the various ways we express ourselves as humans, both with physical traits and with behaviors. And in these last few breaths, finding comfort in your unique self and the unique ways in which you express yourself outwardly. Gently bring your attention back to the space. Deepen your inhale and exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes as you bring movement back to the body slowly. Stretch arms overhead as you're ready. And roll to the right side. A mantra to close practice, and an Om to finish. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. As we do our Om, I invite you to consider the chakras and how Om reverberates through that energetic system. O reverberating in the low chakras, 1, 2, 3. Starting to reverberate in the middle chakras, 4, 5, and 6. And then 7 reverberating in the skull when you close to the sound. Ah, O, Inhale. Bow your head to meet your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Oh, I can't hear you, dear.
Sorry, I was trying to get the unmute thing.
There it is.